Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into Eli Mercer's latest single, Boots on the Wind. Before we get into the song itself, let's set the stage. Eli's name is buzzing on the alt-country circuit. What sets him apart from other emerging artists in this genre?
That's a great starting point. Mercer fuses classic country storytelling with an edgier, almost cinematic soundscape. Unlike traditional country, his work layers atmospheric textures, think pedal steel with reverb and haunting synths. His lyrics reflect a poetic, almost existential approach, resonating with listeners seeking depth beyond typical radio fare.
The alt-country movement itself has exploded over the past decade, blending Americana roots with indie influences. How does Mercer's style echo or diverge from this broader trend?
Mercer stands out through his use of vivid, almost psychedelic imagery. While artists like Jason Isbell or Casey Musgraves lean toward autobiographical narratives, Eli crafts songs that feel mythic. His sound borrows from old-school outlaw country, but he isn't afraid to introduce modern elements. Think of his production as a bridge between Townes Van Zandt and the war on drugs.
That fusion is evident, especially with the release of Boots on the Wind. Let's shift gears and analyze the song's lyrical landscape next. Mercer's lyrics in Boots on the Wind are strikingly evocative, whispering smoke in the dry heat maze, shadows danced where the skyline bends. Can you break down the imagery here for our listeners?
Absolutely. The song conjures a southwestern landscape arid, mystical, and transient. Mercer uses metaphors like cedarwood ghosts in the Joshua trees to invoke a sense of memory and longing. The recurring motif of the desert aligns with themes of solitude and freedom, reminiscent of Cormac McCarthy's prose or classic Western cinema.
There's a sense of chasing or following a restless spirit. How does this connect with traditional country motifs? And where does Mercer subvert expectations?
Country music often revolves around journeys and lost love, but Mercer flips the script. Instead of the narrator being the lone wanderer, it's the object of affection who's untethered, wearing boots on the wind. This inversion, chasing someone who refuses to be caught, introduces philosophical undertones about freedom and unattainable connections.
That's a fascinating contrast. As we continue, let's explore how Mercer's unique perspective is reflected in the song's musical arrangement. The production of Boots on the Wind feels both sparse and cinematic. Can you walk us through how the arrangement supports the song's themes?
Certainly. The instrumentation is deliberately restrained acoustic guitar, subtle lap steel, and ambient synth layers. This sonic minimalism mirrors the vast open landscape the lyrics describe. For example, the echoing reverb on the lead guitar evokes the sense of isolation and distance, much like standing alone in a desert at dusk.
That atmospheric quality invites comparison to other genres, even dream pop or ambient folk. How does this crossover appeal influence the alt-country genre and Mercer's audience reach?
The crossover is strategic. By blurring genre lines, Mercer draws in fans from indie, folk, and country backgrounds. According to a 2023 Nielsen report, genre-fluid artists see a 30% increase in playlist ads versus genre purists. Mercer's production choices make the song accessible to streaming audiences who crave mood and texture as much as traditional narrative.
Let's pivot to the song's emotional core. How do the music and lyrics together evoke the universal longing for connection and freedom? The chorus, "You got boots on the wind, no trail left behind," is both poetic and poignant. What broader human experiences does Mercer tap into with this refrain?
He's channeling the universal tension between attachment and independence. We all know people, or have been people, who are elusive, hard to pin down. The metaphor of boots on the wind captures that impossibility of holding onto a truly free spirit. Studies in music psychology show listeners relate most to songs that validate personal struggle, and this refrain does just that.
There's also a melancholic acceptance present hearts that don't settle where dust might begin. Could this be interpreted as a commentary on modern relationships or even the gig economy's rootlessness?
Absolutely. Mercer's lines resonate in an era defined by mobility and impermanence. Whether it's love, career, or identity, many today find themselves in constant motion. The song becomes both a lament and a toast to those who ride with boots on the wind. It's no surprise that listeners have flooded online forums with stories of how the track mirrors their own transient lives.
As we wrap up, Let's look at how Boots on the Wind positions Eli Mercer for the future and what we can expect next from this rising artist. With the critical acclaim for Boots on the Wind, fans and critics alike are eyeing Mercer's next moves. How might this single shape his career direction and influence the alt-country genre at large?
Mercer is poised to become a torchbearer for a new wave of introspective, genre-blending artists. If his upcoming album continues this trajectory, we could see him headlining major festivals and collaborating with cross-genre acts. Industry insiders note his Spotify monthly listeners have doubled since the single's release, signaling a groundswell of support.
Given Mercer's thematic depth and sonic innovation, do you foresee him influencing mainstream country or remaining on the alt fringes?
That's the big question. Much like Sturgill Simpson or Brandi Carlile, Mercer could bridge the gap. If mainstream country keeps trending toward authenticity and atmospheric production, his style could redefine the genre's boundaries. Whatever happens, Boots on the Wind has established him as an artist to watch and one whose work captures the restless heart of a generation.
That's a perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Eli Mercer's artistry. Stay tuned for more conversations on the future of music.
You got boots on the wind, no trail left behind, running with thunder, a dark foreign mind. Hearts are like comets, burning through sin. You can't chase a soul wearing boots on the wind.